Hi everyone, Lisa Schofield here. I'm Lisa Loves Yarn on Instagram, Lisa Loves Yarn 76 on Ravelry, or you can email me at lisalovesyarn@gmail.com. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I do post regularly. Mostly on there. I'm a bit terrible at posting on Ravelry, but I'm trying to be better. I love knitting. I did start out crocheting a couple of years ago. I picked it up again from childhood and really loved it. I got into doing lace crochet shawls, and then more recent, in the last sort of 12 months, I've really focused on knitting, which I absolutely love and I've become obsessed with. So I started out knitting socks mostly, and some small cardigans for babies to learn I find that's a really good way to learn new techniques, and you get a quick reward because you complete the project fairly quickly, usually within a few days to a week. And then more recently I completed my Stephen West exploration station shawl, which I absolutely loved. It was a real challenge for me, but the thing I love about Stephen's patterns is I have to challenge myself to think outside the box and just go with what he does, and I really let loose and went with colours that I normally wouldn't go with, like bright yellows and blues and things, which was lots of fun, and I absolutely love it, and I can't wait till next winter so I can wear it, because I didn't finish it this year till the end of winter. And pretty much in Brisbane, which is where I'm located, in the north side of Brisbane in Australia. In Brisbane we get like about, I don't know, 2 days of cold weather and that's about it. But we do like going on holidays. More recently we went in August to Tasmania, so I got to use my shawl then, one of my other shawls then, and I was still finishing off my exploration shawl. So hopefully next year we'll go somewhere chilly, like maybe New Zealand, and I'll get to put it to some use. I also want to knit a hat. That's on my bucket list. So that's pretty much me. I mostly take my knitting everywhere with me, on the bus, on the train, to work, knit in the lunch break, knit in the evenings. So I sometimes take a little bit longer to get through projects, but I've always got something on the go. I really like socks for that because they're easy to carry around, and I don't have any finished objects to show you at the moment. I'm normally a monogamous knitter, but lately I've picked up, because I've had a lot of people having babies and things, I've had to have multiple projects on the go. So I'm finding that a little bit stressful because I haven't finished anything yet, so I'm feeling a bit disappointed with myself that I haven't been able to have any finished projects, because that's always the fun part. And anyway, so at least most of them are baby knits, so hopefully they shouldn't take too long to do. I just need to focus and get them done. But coming up to Christmas with some time off, I should get most of those projects finished. So what I've got on the needles at the moment is my Please and Thank You socks. So I've been posting these on I have got them on Ravelry, but I've also been posting my progress on Instagram. So this is my first. I've previously just done knitted plain socks, and on double pointed needles. This time I wanted to challenge myself, so I decided everyone seems to really love making them on circular needles, and I did struggle a bit before I'd knit my first pair of socks trying to start out on circulars, but I just was getting too much laddering because I just wasn't a confident knitter at the time. Now I've mastered sock knitting, I've got the confidence with the other techniques I've learnt recently doing shawls and things, to give it another go, and I have, and I absolutely love it. So I'm doing knitting the socks. They're called Please and Thank You socks, patterns on Ravelry. You can check my project page, and that should link through to the original pattern owner where you can purchase the pattern. I really like these socks. I've seen them on Instagram with other people making them, and I haven't done cable knitting yet, but I love these ones because they look like cables, but they're not, because they've sort of got a little twist to it. So I won't tell you everything because I don't want to give the pattern away, but certainly if you want to have a go at making some fancy socks and you want it to be pretty straightforward and easy, I can thoroughly recommend giving this pattern a go, because it's really simple to follow. There's about 4 row repeats, and then once you've done it a couple of times, it's stuck in your head and it's easy to just follow along. So far I've got up to knitting part of the heel and I'm about to do the gusset. So I've done the increases. So I started them toe up, which is my first time doing toe up on circulars. So here they are. So you can see the little twist. So it does, I'll just move my face out of the way. So hopefully it's really hard to get it to focus on the socks, sorry. But I'll try and post if you have a look on my project page, you'll see some better photos, which will give you a bit more of the detail, but it's really pretty pattern. This colourway is from Spectrum Fibres. It's called Faded Comics. I don't think it's available anymore, but I absolutely love it. You can see all the little speckles on the back. There's lots of pinks and blues and little pops of green, and yeah, it's really, really lovely. And to complement that, I had a dingo tail from Peter at Dingo Dye Works. She's located in Perth and she does beautiful hand-dyed yarn as well. And this one's called, you can't really pick up how bright lime green it is in this light, so I'm really, really sorry, but if you have a look, you'll see the photos on my Ravelry project page and on my Instagram feed. But it's a really bright lime green and it's called Ghost. So I got that as a dingo tail. I think it was 25 grams. So definitely have a look at Dingo Dye Works website. They have some most beautiful yarns, and also Spectrum Fibre. She does lovely bright colours as well. So these two really complement each other. So I'm loving the way that it's turning out. So as you can see, I've done the increases for the heel. There's actually, this pattern's really good because it gives you a few options like top down, toe up, and if you don't have a high arch, you can do like a short row heel. But you also, if you have a high arch, which I do, you can do it like a bigger heel gusset to make it fit nice. So that's basically there. So once I've done the gusset, then I'll be heading up towards the cuff, and I'm going to do the cuffs in this green as well. And then I've got to work on the second one. So it's been going a bit slower than I wanted to because I'm still learning to get used to circulars, but I absolutely love it. I'm not going back. Really love it. And also it's, once I get into the next sock, I think I'll go a lot quicker because it's much faster just working on the circulars. So definitely recommend, if you have tried and failed, just give it another go. Oh, and the pattern also includes links to videos to learn how to do the cast on for the toe up and everything. So really, really helpful, very descriptive instructions. So I thoroughly recommend. That's Please and Thank You socks. So check that out. So that's what's on my needles at the moment for that one. And let's see, I've got another project. I've got a great niece arriving in January, first week of January she's being born, so I'm very excited by that. So I got this gorgeous yarn from my creative garage, Vanessa Kint. She has this beautiful colorway. It's called Strawberry and it's got stellina in it and it sparkles. It's beautiful. So I'm making this cute little dress. Oh, I'll put it in my show notes, the pattern. It's also on my Ravelry page, but it's a little sleeveless little dress that you could put a shirt underneath, a little blouse underneath, or, you know, if it's winter, you could put a little like long sleeve top underneath with tights. But otherwise in summer you could, you know, just put something light under there, or no top underneath at all. And it's just got a really lovely little pattern of little yarn overs going up the body of the dress. So I don't know if you can see the sparkles there. And that's just the back of it. I don't know. It's probably not going to pick up the sparkles, but the yarn is really beautiful. It's lovely and soft. And I think this is just perfect for a little girl's summer dress. Oh, you can see a little bit of the sparkle there, I think. Anyway, I've got photos on my Ravelry page and also on my Instagram feed. So definitely check it out. It's really lovely yarn from Vanessa Kind at My Creative Garage. I also have one of her project bags, which I love, really well made, and it's got alpacas on it. I'll just show you. So it's got like a denim base. So there's her label. And then it's got these cute alpacas in different colours. So sweet. And a really nice little handle there to like a clutch. And then a purple, pretty purple lining. So that's really nice. And it's a really nice, deep, big bag. You could fit a sweater in there. I've actually got a whole heap of stuff in here. I've got multiple projects. So another thing I've got on my needles is the treetop sweater. Absolutely gorgeous little sweater. And around the yoke, it looks like little trees, little pine trees going up around the yoke. So that's also on my Ravelry page and on my Instagram feed. I'm making that for my Instagram friend Katie at D&E Designs. And she's just had a little boy Sam, and so I'm making him this sweater, but it's for a size for a 2-year-old, because I figured she'd get a whole heap of baby stuff and he'll outgrow that. So this is something for the future, for when he gets a bit bigger. So this is the sleeve. I'm doing the second sleeve at the moment. Oh, and by the way, Hedgie Knits sent me this little progress keeper from Rhinebeck. How cute is it? It's a little cup with a candy cane in it. I absolutely love it. So that's my little progress keeper. And the yarn I'm using for this is Bellissimo 100% Merino Extra Fine. It's DK weight, 8 ply. And I don't know if you can see. Sorry, this is new to me, this getting the camera to focus bit. So it's really lovely and soft, perfect for children. And it's colour 237, and it's just a beautiful teal, squishy teal coloured yarn. It's made in Italy from machine washable wool from Australia and New Zealand. Really love it. I got that from online from the Art and Craft Cottage at Ipswich. Really speedy service. Got it within a couple of days in the mail, which is great. So that's what I've got on the needles for that project, as well as I've completed the body. So that's the body, and then the sleeve to go on it. And then once I finish this sleeve, they'll join the sleeves to the body, and then I'll start the cable going up the yoke of the sweater. So fingers crossed I get it right, because I want to try a cable. So I thought this is perfect, because doing baby wear is a great way to get a quick result, and also to learn something new on a small scale, so you don't get daunted by such a big project. So that's that one. There's the other sleeve. So cute. So that's nearly ready to finish off the yoke. And as always, I like to do a swatch. I know it's hard to be patient because you just want to get into a project, but thoroughly recommend it, because I found I'm quite a tight knitter. So I found I need to go up a set of needles. So it really does pay to do a swatch. And the bonus is, if you want, because they're all roughly the same size usually, you could join it later to make a little memory blanket. So I think I might do that. So I'll collect all my swatches, and then maybe one day I'll sew them together to make a little memory blanket, a little throw or something. So that'll be nice. Oh, this is the rest of my ghost for my please and thank you socks. I'm really sorry it's coming out so pale here. But anyway, it's like a bright lime green. It's got a few little tones in it of different shades of the green. It's like a really bright lime green. So definitely check out my Ravelry page because you'll get a better idea for the colour. Or go online to Dingo Dye Works because she still has some on there, I think. So definitely recommend getting that. And then next on my needles, when I eventually get around to making something for myself, other than my socks, I've sort of cast on for the Sunset Highway sweater. So everybody's into it at the moment, so I'm sure you've heard of it. But this is the sweater. And I just like how it's really slouchy and a little bit loose fitting, so hopefully mine turns out that way. I did do a swatch, but this is my first sweater, so hopefully it turns out okay and I can wear it. So for the main colour, this one, I'm going right out there with Dingo Dye Works Pig Face, which is named after a plant that we have here, and I'm sure it's on other countries as well. It's like a succulent. Anyway, it has these bright hot pink flowers on it. And anyway, so this is Pig Face, so that's going to be the main body colour. And then there's Flamingo Beach, it's got all greens and little pops of bright colour like orange and pink and purple and a bit of yellow. So that is going to be this colour here for the top part. And then I've got my Faded Comics from Spectrum Fibre. That's going to be this row here, this lighter colour. And then I've got Dingo Dye Works. It just went out of my head, the colour. But anyway, it's like a coal grey. Oh, it's really nice. So that's going to be the dark colour accent here. So that's really, really lovely. And oh my God, it's so soft. Anyway, so I think it's going to be a nice colour combo. Fingers crossed. Just with that bright green and the bright pink with the dark coal grey, and then the light coloured speckles that'll tie the two pinks and the greens together because it's got a bit of both. So that's going to be lovely. So I'm really looking forward to that. Well, there's so it's Dingo Dye Works at www.dingodyeworks.com.au. Peter is lovely, and usually when you buy a skein of yarn you get a lovely little progress keeper, which is the one, I had one on my Please and Thank You socks. That was this cute little green crystally star. So I got that with one of my skeins. I think that was Flamingo Beach. So really lovely little treat. Thank you, Peter. So that's what I've got on the needles. Oops, I'm so sorry. I've got my camera precariously balanced because my tripod broke and it's missing a leg. So it's leaning on a pre-wrapped present for Wayne for his birthday next week. So it's very precarious. Hopefully I don't knock it again, so I do apologise. The next time, hopefully, I will make a much more professional, better video, but we'll see. It's all a learning progress. So I'll just put this yarn away. Carefully take my pattern. I'll just pop that down. So, I guess I'll go with recent purchases and recent things on Instagram. So recently I participated in a Christmas bag swap that was on Instagram, which was so much fun. And I got matched up with a lovely lady, Hedgie Knits, in America. And I love Christmas. It's my favourite holiday of the year, I have to say. I like it better than my birthday. And anyway, so I had to make her a project bag. So I used some Australian Christmas fabric. I made one little bag and it turned out a bit smaller than I wanted, so I made her a second one. So the little bag, sock knitting bag, was using this blue background platypus with little Christmas design on there. And then the other one was a padded zipper pouch that was a bit bigger, and it had wombat Christmas fabric on there, which I thought was really cute. So I made her that and sent a few little extra things with her, including some yarn I got in Tasmania. that was hand dyed. And then she made me a lovely bag. I absolutely love it. It's got little woodland Christmas tree fabric and then snowflake red fabric up the top. It's got little hearts. So cute. And it's really nice and long, so it's quite deep. I love that. And then it's got a drawstring. And then it's got this cute little Christmas tree lining here. So that's really lovely. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Hedgie Knits. Also, she sent me, oh my gosh, some yarn ink yarn, which I'm hopeless. I just went to fix up the skein because it was going undone because I've been cutting it around. I need to wind it into a cake. So I'll get Wayne to help me with that. He's my yarn winder. So it's yarn ink yarn. I feel totally spoiled because I always admire these yarn dyers from America, but the exchange rate just makes it so hard for me to purchase because it's so expensive. But I feel very spoiled. So it's 463 yards, 100 gram classic sock, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it's called Taffy. And here it is. Oh my god. And you can't really see it totally there, but it's got the softest mint green, absolutely beautiful, pale pink with little pops of magenta, and then here there's like little bits of orange, and yeah, it's just absolutely beautiful. I just love how the colours blend, as well as the pink going into the green. It's just like a really pale soft mint green. Absolutely love it. So I'm thinking I'm going to make some Clark socks. I love that pattern. I saw first that the Grocery Girls were, Tracy was knitting it from the Grocery Girls, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And I think these are going to be my Christmas cast on socks. And it's so soft and it smells so lovely. I don't want to put too close to my face because I've got makeup on. I don't want to get makeup on it. It's beautiful. So I absolutely love it. Thank you, Hedgie Knits. She also gifted me the little Rhinebeck Progress Keeper with the little candy cane in the cup, which is absolutely adorable. And I love having a little piece of Rhinebeck because I've been living vicariously through all the videos of the Rhinebeck sweaters and everyone's videos from their visit to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. And as I probably will never get there unless I'm lucky enough to go on holiday to New York again, I lived through those videos. So thank you to all the ladies that put video posts up because it looks like so much fun. And if you haven't seen the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, it's known as the Rhinebeck Festival, and they have a thing called the Rhinebeck sweater. So anyone intending to go to Rhinebeck, they knit a sweater for the day, for the weekend. And Christy Glass Knits does these awesome videos where everyone shares their Rhinebeck sweater, what they made to wear, what yarn they use, what pattern they use. So it's a really great inspiration video because you can find, you can quickly pause it, write down the pattern, and then go, I'm going to go on Ravelry and get that pattern because I want to try that. It's not just sweaters. Some people wear shawls or different things. Just depends what they happen to get finished in time. Some of the ladies finish early. Most of them are finishing like on the way in the car to the festival. Or they haven't woven in the end. So it's really fun hearing everyone's little story. So I really love getting that. Oops, I just dropped something on the floor. Sorry about that. So also part of her, she gave me Yum. The Hershey's chocolate's gone, Hedgie. It's gone. So Jolene put in there little Kit Kats and little malt balls. So I'll be sharing that with Wayne and maybe my mum at Christmas time. So thank you. And she packaged everything so lovely. Look at the candy cane stripe yarn. Just so pretty. So apart from that in the bag, I've got these cute little stitch markers. So they've got like little different coloured beads on them. So they're really lovely. And I got this cute little sock for your yarn ball, which is awesome. So that just stops, you put that around your yarn and it stops it, if you've got a centre pull, it stops it from unravelling when it's rattling about in your bag, in your project bag when you're carting it hither and thither. So that's Buffy Ann Designs. And very cute. I love it. I'm going to try it out. This would actually be really good for when you have like lace weight projects, because you know how lace weight tends to get out of control, and then if it gets tangled, that's it. Unless you're really into untangling things, I think you should get one of these. Save a lot of tears. What else? Oh, recently I went to Skane Sisters in Sydney. I was there in Sydney for a girls' weekend, which I absolutely had so much fun. I hadn't seen my girlfriends because I'm originally from Newcastle in New South Wales, and I used to live in Sydney, and I haven't seen my girlfriends for a couple of years. They've been busy with their families, and we just haven't had time to catch up, and being interstate, it's just hard to get together at the same time. So we recently just decided spontaneously to get together for a girls' weekend. So I went down to Sydney, and then the girls had to head off their separate ways and get back to their families on a Sunday. So I headed over to Dulwich Hill on the train, and didn't realise how uneven the road was going to be. So I had to drag my suitcase up the street, which was up a hill, and it was all patchy cement, tar, up and down. Anyway, so I dragged my bags up the hill to Skane Sisters. Absolutely beautiful store, beautiful ladies, excellent service, and so welcoming. I walked in the door and it was like coming out of the desert into an oasis of yarn, and it was air conditioned, and then they had a nice sitting area where there was some people already, Matthew, and I'm not sure of the other lady's name, they're already sitting there having a chat and a knit. So I sat down and they got me some water, and so I sat and knit with them for a couple of hours, and that was really relaxing. And then of course I can't leave without a souvenir, so I had a wander through the store and had a look at all the lovely yarn they have. Shelter yarn and some Australian indie dyers and hedgehog fibres yarn. Yeah, so just really lovely choice there. So I did come back with some Addy circulars, just fixed ones, but I got the wrong size cable. Anyway, not to worry. I wanted them for my to cast on another pair of socks. So I got 2.25mm Addy circulars, fixed ones. I haven't had Addy before, haven't tried it. So I will try them on another project, but I think they're going to be too short, the cable, and as they're fixed, I can't change the cable. So I'll keep them aside because there'll be some other little project that I'll be doing down the track, I'm sure, where I'll get to use them. But I did make some other purchases there, so I'll just get it. So I wanted to get, and it's so hard because the popular thing more recently has been fingering weight yarn, but I recently decided to I want to make a hat. So I looked for some DK weight yarn. So they had some lovely yarn from Ren and Ollie, which is a dyer from Adelaide in South Australia. Really, really pretty colourways, very soft yarn. So I got some DK, and this one's called Zest. And I don't know if you can tell here, but it's like the palest of like yellow, peachy yellow yarn, but it looks a bit white there. And then it's got like pinks and purples and flashes of orange and bright yellow. Just really, really pretty. So I'm going to find an appropriate pattern online for that one. So if anyone's got any suggestions, definitely send me a message on Ravelry or on my email, lisalovesyarn @gmail.com, or send me a message, DM me on Instagram. But yeah, this is 100 grams, and just see, this one's, what is it? 200 meters or 218 yards, 115 grams. It's 4 ounces. Needle size 4mm to 5mm or US 6 to 8. So this is the company. Is Ren and Ollie. And absolutely love this yarn. Can't wait to knit it up. I also got, all my purchases were Ren and Ollie because I just loved all of her yarn. So this one I got for Wayne to make him some socks because he's feeling left out. But mind you, he's got 2 pair of hand knit socks. I've only got 1. So I need to finish my pair first. Then he can have his. So this one's called Patina. And it's really lovely teal greens and blues with bits of brown and mustard yellows in it, and it really is beautiful. So I think this is going to work out really nice. I'm thinking, because I recently purchased, now I can't remember who the pattern owner is, but I got an Outlander themed sock pattern, and it's like a lattice type pattern at the front. Anyway, have a look at my Ravelry page because it should be on there, but I'll find out anyway and I'll let you know. So I'm going to make him a pair of socks with that. And then I don't normally go for this colour. I'm normally a taffy girl. Pinks and mint greens and bright colours. But I thought, oh, when I saw this yarn, it just called to me. So this one's called To the Moon and Back by Ren and Ollie. And this is like purples and teal blue with a dark blue. It's just really, really pretty. So that's going to be a pair of socks for me. Not sure what pattern yet. I'll have to find one. But I think that's going to be another pair of socks for me. So I better get knitting. Otherwise I'm never going to get to make myself a pair of something in these. So that's what my purchases were from Skein Sisters at Dulwich Hill. Definitely recommend if you're in town. Go there, or they have their online store so you can purchase from there, and they have some lovely yarns. And they do a spotlight every so often of local Australian dyers, so keep your eye out on their Instagram feed because they usually let you know there when they're having a little spotlight on a yarn dyer. And recently they had Gum Blossom yarns, so Simone's beautiful hand dyed with natural Australian plants. She had her yarn there as a spotlight yarn, so definitely recommend keeping your eye out for Skein Sisters. And what else? Then recently, when I realised I didn't have the size cables that I wanted, I purchased some online. So, oops, sorry people. Okay, sorry. I don't think I'll ever make Channel 9 news as a newsreader the way I'm going. So anyway, I wanted some longer cable, 2.25mm knitting needles so I can do some socks. So I went to my go-to online store, which is Yay for Yarn. She's based in Queensland, and exceptional service, good communication, quick response. I ordered it and had it within 2 days. So I was really, really impressed because, you know, when you want something and you want to start a project and you can't because you're waiting on one thing, it's awesome when you get it so quick in the mail because then you don't have to wait and you can just get started. So I got myself some Addy fixed circulars, 2.25mm. So this one is 80cm cable. It's got like a pale pinky orange cable. So that's 80 centimeters. So I might cast my Clark socks on them. I haven't used metal needles for circulars. I usually tend to stick to wooden because I like the feel of it. But anyway, we'll give it a go. And oops. I also got some with 100cm cable because, you know, I never know if I want longer. So I might want to do 2 up at a time one day when I want to challenge myself. I need to just get used to knitting in circulars in the first place, and then for the socks, and then I'll go for 2 up. But anyway, I've got them in reserve. So that was really awesome. Yay for yarn. Yay for getting it quick in the mail. We all love that. Another recent purchase that I made online was I've never been part of a sock club, a sock yarn club. So Spectrum Fibre advertised on her Instagram feed that she was going to host a sock club for an 80s theme called Glow. I think there's a TV show based on that. Anyway, it just spoke to me because I love the 80s. Molly Ringwald, here we go. So, and it was fun not knowing what colourway you were going to get in the mail. So anyway, I waited patiently, and in the mail came the most beautiful yarn. Look at it, pinks and purples and like teal blues and like limey yellowy green, and yeah, just really lovely. I mean, God, look at that. And then check out, oh my God, it's just so nice. And it's so soft. Oh my God, so soft. So it's Spectrum Fibre, and it comes in a sparkly bag. What more could you want? So it's Glow Sock Club Twisted Sock, 100 gram, 365 meters, 80% merino, 20% nylon, hand washing recommended, at Spectrum Fibre on Instagram, so check her out. She has great service. She's based in Brighton in the UK, and I've bought the Faded Comics sock yarn from her. I just love it, really love it. And she does really bright colours, which are always fun. So I'm not sure yet whether I want to make socks with this again or maybe put it into a shawl. We'll see. I'll keep you posted, but I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with that one. So it's just going to stay in a skein for now. So that's basically all of my purchases. And then recently it was my birthday, and Wayne's mum and dad gave me this cute little notebook with a spiral bound, so little love hearts. And it's got a kitty cat, which looks like Pearl, my cat. And it's called Pour Some Ideas. So I thought, awesome, I can use this to keep track of my projects, because mostly I look at my projects on my phone. So I have the PDF pattern on my phone, but it's not always convenient to look at the tiny pattern. You've got to try and bring it up on the screen on your phone and when you're traveling. So I wanted to keep track of my projects because sometimes I forget what yarn I use and things like that. So I thought, what better place but to put it in here? So I print out the pattern and I cut it up into segments. And so here's my treetop sweater. So that's what that sweater's going to look like. How cute. And I put like my pattern notes here, just like I would in Ravelry. So this is good for me because I can go back and put it on my Ravelry page, but usually by the time I finish the project, I've forgotten the details, like what needles I had decided to use and things like that. Also, I've got a sample of the yarn, so I put what yarn I used, and then I got the pattern. And then at the back, I've got, well, I stuffed this one up because I put another pattern thing on there and then realised I made a mistake. But I'm normally going to intend to leave a couple of pages at the end to put a finished photo on there and any notes on any issues I had or changes I made, so I can keep track of that. So the please and thank you socks that I mentioned before, that's by the Sweater Collective, so that's kind of handy. See, this book has come in handy already because I couldn't remember the pattern designers at first. So please and thank you socks, Sweater Collective, so check that out. And then Matto Mikis Jolly Millie baby dress. So that's this one. That's the one I'm making with the strawberry yarn with the stellina in it. How cute. Adorable. So I'm making that. Also put the sample of the yarn in there. And then I'm leaving room for info at the end to put a finished project, as I said before. So that's what I'm going to do with this book, and it's really quite a good idea, I think. It's worth the trouble of cutting out the pieces of the pattern and putting it in and writing the notes down, and then later on I can just easily put it all into Ravelry so I can share it with other people. So definitely recommend. And the spiral bound makes it so much easier because if you're on the train, you can leave it open where it's not flicking shut all the time while you're trying to read it. So definitely recommend that. That'll be coming on holidays with me at Christmas on our road trip, so I can keep track of my projects. Also, getting back just before to Yay for Yarn. So it's her details there, yayforyarn.com.au. She also included a sample of some yarn, which is Solo Cashmere Filatura di Croza, 100% cashmere, sample colour 14, which is like a deep navy blue. So that was nice. And her name's Kiri Fitzgerald Hillier. And yeah, definitely recommend if you are in Australia, check out that. Anyway, that's all I have for today. So I'll try and do a better video next time. I apologise for any technical difficulties. And thank you for watching. All right, bye.